All right, so we're live. Finally, this is my first stream, and I have a guest. His name's Troy, as you can see, and yeah, basically, well, okay.
Yes, some te some technical difficulties.
I have no idea why there's music playing. Do you hear that?
Can't hear it. I mean, let me check if it's my phone.
Yeah, probably did.
Nah, it's not my phone, man. I have headphones in, and I checked the headphones. There, nothing's playing in the back.
Okay. All right, we're good. We're good. All right, so now we're officially starting. So, I already said it was going to be a disaster since this is my first stream. This is going to be like the very first one. So, getting all the kinks and everything worked
Yeah,
out. We're probably gonna have a few people joining us. Like I already shared the link with Tyler and stuff. But what I was saying before is basically what I'm doing. Like this stream in particular, for people that don't know, is because I have Patreon rewards, and so you can be on a stream with me. And I want to start streaming regularly, so I thought this was like a good way to have people like join in and stuff like that. And so yeah, this is my official first guest, and I had a few things I want to talk about, things that I don't, I didn't want to like dedicate an entire video to, but I just thought it'd be fun to just shoot the shit and just do a stream and then talk about a few things. And a lot of people were asking me about the to make a video or say something about the YouTube adverts or the demonetization and everything, because a lot of people were like freaking out about that. Like a lot of people were, it actually it kind of got really weird. It got weird to the point where like it kind of reminded me of like Alex Jones kind of thing. Like there's a lot of people that were just they saw like some type of like, oh, this is probably what's happening. They're censoring people talking about social justice, and then people just kind of ran with it, and it was really weird. Like, and from the beginning, like, say I was a little bit concerned myself because that's what everybody was saying it, and to a certain extent, people that you even consider skeptics. So I was kind of like, oh shit, like what's going on? This is crazy. But I kind of just wanted to wait and see how things play out because, this isn't the first uproar. This isn't the first time people were kind of like just extremely butthurt about something that YouTube did. So I didn't really want to overreact because, I've been suckered into stuff before, and shit happens. Well, looks like we got some camera.
yeah,
Got some camera action going on.
yeah. I can't use the computer, man. It's going way too slow, so I figured I'd just hop on my phone.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so you're still kind of you're still looks like you're on both Hangouts and stuff because you have two two Troys on here.
Shit. Yeah, I don't know how that's happening. There you
All right,
go.
good now. It's off now. It's all good. But I mean, when you first heard about this, when you first heard about the demonetization, like were you paying attention to this stuff? Did you have any like what was your initial reaction?
uh, I don't. I mean, I felt like it was kind of hypocritical because I'm sure I forgot what the channel was, but it's HCT News or ECT News.
You
Something
still
like
around,
that.
brother?
Videos. Yeah, I mean, they're more. Yeah.
Okay, you just seem to be breaking up a little bit for me.
Uh, okay. Hear
Yeah,
me?
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So ECT News was reporting on North Korea, and they got some of their videos where the advertisements were taken down and whatnot. And I don't know why this is happening, but they had basically got their things taken down because they were talking about North Korea, and it's kind of looked at as not advertiser friendly, which doesn't make sense because YouTube put the interview up when that whole thing was going on, and in that movie they kill off Kim Jong Un.
Oh
Yet
yeah,
they
that's
still
right.
had it up. I mean, they still had it up on YouTube, so it's kind of like, you can't talk about North Korea, but if Sony puts up a movie that's going to bring in the money, then it's fine. So it was just kind of
Yeah, I mean, like that makes sense, and that was the initial thing. Like, say I didn't really like, I still wasn't really like, say after all the after the aftermath and everything that was kind of happening, and from the little bit of research that I did, I was just like, okay, it's not that big of a deal, especially because I actually got hit by this like a couple of months ago, or I had two of my videos demonetized, and it was, I kind of figured it out because they had to do both of them had to do with mass shootings, and it was like the stuff that I was tagging, and it just, I guess, just demonetized, and I was like, oh, that's weird, but I guess I really didn't really care. I didn't care because those videos were making me like no money, so it was just like, oh, I lost a few bucks here or something like that, and then I looked at a lot of my older videos too, because I did a few videos on, the subject of rape of whatever the hell it was. Like, there was Emma Solkovitz, mattress girl, where she was saying that, oh yeah, that whole rape allegation, she lied and stuff, and talked about that. So a few of those things, but that was when I was barely getting started, so it really didn't affect me that much, and so I didn't
right.
really see the need to say anything about it. I was just like, okay, I just can't, like, fucking bunnies. I don't know if you hear that, fucking going crazy
Yeah,
in the cages. Anyways, yeah, so I just didn't feel the need to say anything, but I understand how some people were concerned because, um, if you got one of your videos that made like hundreds of thousands or had 100,000 views or more, and it got demonetized, that's going to be a decent amount of money that you're missing out on. So I understand how some people, even if it was a small portion, that they were angry, but like it was just kind of crazy seeing like how people were talking about, like, it was very 1984, it was very Orwellian what was happening, and I would say, like, it wasn't necessarily that. It was just, YouTube trying to, like, what I imagine what they were doing is they took the monetization, like they were like, all right, so some YouTubers are going to lose some money, but overall we're going to gain much more because we're going to a lot more advertisers are going to want to come to YouTube now that there's a few things that are a little more advertiser friendly or something. I don't know, but it didn't even seem like any. All it just seems like they just kind of updated some stuff. Like, they were letting people know, like, say, the only reason I knew is because I saw the little yellow marker thing that shows you that, oh, it's not monetized, and I actually, and I thought it was pretty cool that you can actually appeal, like, say you can change some stuff around, and I actually did that myself, and I actually want to see. I haven't even checked on that. I've been so busy. I don't even know if, like, say they got approved or not or anything, but I changed some of the tags. I changed some of the titles, and I wanted to see if that was going to work. And
right.
I know it's worked for other people, so I imagine I was like, oh, why
Mhm.
wouldn't it work for me? And I'm just gonna pull that
Yeah,
up.
I mean, like, I don't think it's I mean, I don't think they were targeting people specifically. I just think that they had an algorithm as to how they dealt with the videos. A lot of people got kind of caught in the crossfire. Like, even if it was a helpful video, like a suicide prevention video, if it had the word suicide in the tags, it might get taken down, flagged for demonetization.
Yeah,
Uh,
which that really sucked. Like, that really yeah, like, say,
yeah,
yeah, that's how, I mean, that's how it's definitely like some type of algorithm in a bot, because even like very positive videos that you would absolutely wouldn't mind advertising on, because it's, you're, like, say a Boogie 2988's video, about suicide prevention and stuff like that. Why the hell wouldn't you want to advertise on that? That's, it's very good. It's a very positive thing. So yeah, I know they definitely have some kinks to work out, but I mean, it was just like, it was so weird. It was so weird to me just seeing how, like, things played out. Like, say, people making videos. I mean, my subscriptions, like, they were lined up with them. They were lined up with the YouTube. Or talking about the YouTube party is over or whatever. YouTube is over party, all that shit. And I was just kind of like, what the hell's happening? what's what's happening? And why I say that, it reminded me of like Alex Jones, because there was a time when I was starting to get into politics, and then I stumbled upon him, and I was just like, who the hell is this guy? And I watched a few documentaries. I'm like, oh, this is some weird and interesting shit. And it got to a point where I would sometimes I would listen to some of his broadcasts depending on who was on there, because sometimes he had some guests that I really respected, and like even like say that, or the guy that still works there, Paul Joseph Watson. I was just like, I like this guy, and but I remember one time, this was probably like I don't know how many years ago, but he was saying that, oh, there was some troops moving to Kuwait. They're being stationed in Kuwait, and he's like, you know what that means? You know what that means? That means the start of World War III, because they're gonna infiltrate Iran. And if we infiltrate Iran, then there's going to be Russia and China. They back Iran, and there's gonna be like chaos, and they're gonna like it's gonna be World War III, like the official superpowers. And I was just like, oh, what the fuck? Like listen to this guy
Yeah,
actually thinking.
he's a little more on the extreme side, man. I like Paul Joseph Watson, but Alex Jones, man, sometimes that dude can fly off the handle pretty quick. So
Oh
I
yeah,
think
I
it's
mean,
kind of funny.
dude, some of the fucking like I love actually like a lot. I mean, he's a meme machine. If you've seen, there's like so many different things on him. Like say, one of my favorite things is just him turning into a Super Saiyan. Just on YouTube. If you just like Alex Jones, like go Super Saiyan or something, it's one of the funniest fucking things I've seen. So even though I don't like really like him or respect him, I love that he's just kind of around, and then people make some pretty awesome shit out of out of the crazy stuff that he talks about. And
Yeah,
but yeah,
he's
so it was. Now that was pretty nuts to me, and I was just like, okay, maybe I think maybe this is actually even kind of like, because it's like a skept, it's the skeptic community, I guess, people like to call it or something, and it was really weird to see that. It was really weird for me to see a lot of these people react the way that they did, because um you wouldn't normally expect them or think that they would do something like that, because not everybody did. There was plenty of people. There were some people that I even saw that were actually saying people were overreacting, and they were getting a ton of shit for it. Like, they were like, fucking people were
yeah.
like, I
I
saw a
mean,
few
but
things.
I just feel like maybe it's just human nature that when something like that happens, you tend to have like a knee jerk reaction, and I think people saw that, you know, that people that within their community that kind of talk about the same thing, it was happening to them as well. So I think that people might have taken, oh, it's like we're getting views and whatnot, but I think maybe some people should have waited to like kind of form that opinion and then broadcast it, because a little bit later, they started finding out like, okay, well, here are the tags that set off like certain things and whatnot. I
Yeah,
just think, people should have kind of waited to see like, okay, well, let's find out how this is, how they're doing this, rather than like, oh, they're attacking us because our views. But I mean, it's understandable why you would have that reaction, but at the same time, like if you look back at it, it's kind of like, oh, it was kind of overreacting at the time.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess, yeah, and it's not, and I will also say that there was a lot of people that I was actually, they made some stuff from this that I like, I thought was hilarious, that I like really appreciated, that I saw some reactions, some videos were like highly entertaining. So I'm not gonna say, like, I'm not just like shitting on people, and
Oh
I'll just say,
no,
yeah, I'm definitely
I mean
like,
I think there was a few YouTubers, they reacted to it, and I think they reacted to it appropriately, like Mr. Epsilon, because some of his videos, they were just kind of like Boogie's videos, kind of talking about his encounters with like sexual abuse and stuff like that. So, and
yeah,
it's just like, I mean, like he was getting attacked by other YouTubers, like Grade was attacking him, and I love Grade. Like I watch Grade's videos all the time.
Great is probably my favorite YouTuber of right now, and
Yeah, but like
yeah, I thought that
even
was pretty. Yeah, you went pretty fucking hard on him. That, like, he like really.
yeah, it was
I,
it was kind of it was kind of messed up to see, man, because like right after he went hard on Mr. Epsilon, he turns around and says, Boogie did this, and poor Boogie. Like it was kind of like,
yeah,
okay, that's a a little bit much, man. Like you should really either he didn't watch the videos or
Well,
I don't know.
I've also noticed something. I also noticed that about Grade. When he does those type of videos, like when he attacks somebody, he doesn't. He kind of, I don't know. He seems like he has his information. He has like all he needs, and then he kind of just like goes for it. And for example, like I actually had a problem with what that wave, that massive wave when everybody was attacking Keemstar, because there was a lot of shit. As much as Keemstar is a piece of shit, there was a lot of stuff that they really did take out of context with, like, even like say trying to hate on, they were trying to use examples of look at him talking shit on this person, this and that. And then I actually watched Keemstar, in defense of Keemstar, because like that's what I like to do. I want to hear both sides of stuff. And of course, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't justified, but there were a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that was, and I felt disgusting that I was even kind of coming out in defense of him at all, like saying some, like just a couple. I just said a couple of things on Twitter, and then he even like Keemstar acknowledged me, and I was kind of like grossed out. I was just like, ugh, like I'm just
Yeah.
being objective, and nobody pretty much retracted anything they said, and that's what also kind of bothered me, where there was just like, for example, like say, I guess there's this thing that Keemstar does where he talks shit on his fans. Like it was like a thing that he does. Like, it's and people are using that, like taking it out of context, saying like, oh, look at him, like just being a piece of shit, And I'm like, well, yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the whole point of it. So that was
Well,
like, it was
yeah,
a
I mean, it's Keemstar, like I think he got started, by trolling. Like that was his thing whenever
yeah,
he first started.
it's true.
So,
Yeah, I remember he got started
you know,
by, like, I don't know, talking shit, and then people
yeah,
invited him on to
like
a stream or something.
talking,
Yeah,
talking shit on like his streams on like Halo and whatnot.
yeah.
I mean, I don't like the guy, but on the same note, I can't give him too much shit because
I mean, he's always
you know,
been that fucking
yeah, he's
guy.
always been
Like,
that guy.
he's always been that fucking piece of shit. So it's kind of like,
Yeah,
what do you expect? Now, I know there was certain things. Yeah, there were certain things that he did that were fucking awful. I was just like, my whole point was just that I'm like, pretty much this was almost like another situation where like he just attacked like Repsion. Like, so I like Repsion. He's cool. Like I actually had the opportunity to feature on his channel and like do like
yeah,
a guest
I saw that.
video.
That was
Yeah, so
cool.
that was pretty cool. Even though fucking, I don't know what the fuck was going on that day, because I recorded 3 videos that day, and I don't know what was happening, but I was fucking charged up. And the other 2 videos that I recorded, I was talking way too fucking fast. That one I slowed down a little bit, but I still was talking really fast, and I was like moving way too much, and my ears were jiggling more than they fucking usually do, and I was just like, shit, man. And like, so of course his audience, a lot of motherfuckers, top comments were talking about my fucking ears. I was just like, god damn it,
Yeah,
dude.
your,
But I mean,
your ears
it
caught
happens.
the Ethan eyebrow syndrome.
Oh yeah, fuck, dude. And that's why I was just like, you know what? I should just put my plugs back in and then just be done with it. And you know what? Hold on 1 second. I actually I pulled up my Twitter, and I did notice this right now because I just checked I wanted to see the foot of the chat, and then the chat's not there. And
Oh,
somebody was just telling me, they're like, "Yo, you can't live stream without a chat, man." And I fucking agree. And I'm just like, "Whoa, wait, hold on a second, dude." Like,
oh yeah.
yeah, I'm like, see, this is, well, I told you people that this was going to be a disaster because it's my first one, and I kind of just winged it. I was like, oh, everything looks good. I just assumed that the chat would just pop up. I mean, and I thought it was just a part of that's the thing. That's just what you do. But if anybody's hearing this shit, I'm going to look into this right now, as I'm going to multitask, because definitely there should be a chat up there. It's actually kind of annoying that there isn't a fucking chat. So I'm like, oh shit. that's as novice, it's fucking, hey, this is amateur hours, so don't fucking judge me. That's why I like featuring on other people's stuff, because I don't have to worry about shit. You just kind of just go with it, and then if shit happens, fucking whatever. And so I'm looking at this. I think I see the feature, and it's saying that it's fucking disabled, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, no, why are you disabled? Like, what the fuck's, like, so I don't even think I could fix this actually. I don't know if that's something that say you can only mess with while you're actually before you start it. I don't know if you can enable or disable it. This is something that like I gotta get like say I gotta get somebody else on actually, and then somebody that's fucking like really that knows about all this shit and that can just tell me like hey, this is what you do, you stupid asshole. um, and actually and that was actually that's what I was gonna invite some people onto the stream. I actually I shot Tyler Preston the link, so I shot it to him just a little bit late though, so I don't know if he's seen it. And like he should be stopping by, but whatever though. But yeah, I don't really like say yeah. I just wanted to get that out of the way first about the advertiser stuff because some people were asking me about it. Like yeah, it didn't really fucking matter to me. Like the only thing it has made me more careful because even if I did talk about something really serious, like say like mass shootings or something like that, I'm not going to tag or put that in the title. I'll do some wordplay, work around it so I can still talk about it, and most likely still get ads on it. Because I did one of my two of my videos or another one. It was talking about terrorism or something, and that one actually got demonetized. Fairly recent, I think, but it was another thing that was only had a few thousand views or maybe only 2,000 or something like that, which is like nothing. So I was just like, oh, okay, big fucking deal. But yeah, I would be fucking devastated, especially the videos that do very well. Like every once in a while, I'll get a video that has like over 100,000 views or something, and if something like that was demonetized, yeah, I would be really fucking angry. So, but so far I've just been lucky. Like I haven't ran into that problem I haven't ran into that problem yet. So it's
Yeah, I
all
mean,
good.
hopefully it doesn't get to the point where they actually, because I mean, some of their rules are pretty vague. So, I mean, if
Yeah,
they start demonetizing videos that just have, straight cussing in them, then I mean, I'm gonna be kind of surprised because it's it's just kind of like wow, dude. But I mean, for now, I think they just have that algorithm, and as long as you're careful with your typed words on the tags and the title, I think you'll be all right. But
and I think that's probably like check it out. I think that's like how it's always gonna be. I can't imagine like say yeah, there's the whole like profanity, profanity and vulgar language. Like I can't imagine that ever being like actually implemented other than like say maybe your title, like say like for example, um I was watching a video from that guy Cult of Dusty because it caught my eye. It said "fuck black people." I was like, "What the fuck?"
oh my
you know,
god,
Obviously knowing it's just kind of clickbait, because I know this guy. I know enough about him. Like he grew up in Mississippi and like in a black neighborhood, so I know he's not a racist. I was just like, let me see what this is about, and I was actually curious to be like, oh, I wonder, like, say with this stuff being so like up in the up in the air, like if he like got any type of like advertiser like ping or something, or say if he got demonetized because of that. Like I was curious about that because just putting like "fuck black people" in the title, like would they be able to pick that up? Even though overall it's just a video just explaining that I should be able to criticize everybody equally, and like say for some reason because he's a white guy, and if you criticize black people, it automatically makes you a racist, and
yeah,
and that's absolutely fucking true. How people are like that nowadays because it's fucking it is so absolutely crazy that um like what happened. I just watched something not that long ago. It was actually no, I didn't watch it. I was reading some comments, and I did that video about Trump asking he was trying to get the black vote, and
oh, yeah.
that fucking video, man, like so many people were so like confused on that video. Even my roommate, he even like was telling me, "Oh man, so I had to dislike your video, man." He's like, "That shit was bullshit." I was like, "What?" And I was just like, "Well, I understand if you fucking hate Trump. I get it that you would not like the video at all." My whole thing is like
Yeah.
I told people I'm fucking indifferent, and I said, gun to my head, like I mean, literally, you're like, because I tried to explain, and I guess I should get this out of the way too. Where I've said this in a couple of videos already. In one of my older videos, I talked about how I don't vote. Where, um, say, I've already like say it's gotten to the point where I'm like voting for this two party thing, and there's too many things in place, too many lobbyists, too much fraudulent bullshit to want me to keep participating. Even like people are saying, oh, why don't you look for a third party? You know, let's say you're kind of more like a libertarian, you know, and I'm just
Right.
like, well, the whole thing is like say I don't really like that many people in the Libertarian Party right now either. I did really like say I really did like Ron Paul when he was running. You know, I really one thing I really liked about him because there was a lot of people that would try to like debate me and say stuff like, "Oh, Ron Paul is this, Ron Paul is that." Ron Paul is a creationist. You know, he believes in creationism, and I was just like, you know, but he said multiple times that my personal beliefs won't get in the way of my job, just kind of like how it's not supposed to get in the way of your job if you work at wherever. You know, usually the
Right.
what you believe is not has nothing to do with you serving customers or whatever. And I was like, I like that. You know, I like that because that is so not what fucking everybody else says, where they're just like, well, God this and God that and fucking
Well,
whatever.
I guess nowadays a lot of people they don't understand the difference between what you believe and what you support. Like I believe in I don't believe in abortions, like, but I'll support a woman's right to have one. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
if that
I
makes sense.
no, absolutely no. That
But
completely makes sense. There's some stuff that like you would not be for, but you understand that like you know, yeah, why other people would want that, or you would understand the need for it or something. You know, because
yeah,
it's
so
not all about you. It's not all about you. You know, we're fucking especially when
yeah,
you're
and I think people what they do is they just you say I believe in something and they automatically substitute the word support for it as well. So like they take your statement as I believe and support this, or I believe and support that. Like they take
yeah.
it as both, not just one piece.
No, yeah, absolutely. And the thing that like really that I don't know, I guess that what makes me angry the most is it's the yeah the people that like say the video I was talking about the Trump video. Like I got a few messages and some people were telling me like, oh, yeah, Trump's a racist, this and that, and I'm just like, okay, of course. They were saying, and somebody sent me, here's some fucking proof. Here's some proof, and all it was some fucked up statistics. It was Trump. He tweeted some stuff about black on white crime statistics, and they were inaccurate, and that was enough proof for him to be a racist. And I was just like, what? Like, how that? Like,
Yeah.
just tweeting some wrong information means that you're like, yeah, fucking what fucking hang them high. Like I was like, what the
Well,
fuck,
I
man?
mean, I don't know, man. A lot of words nowadays they've lost their value completely, man. Like racism has lost its value. Rape has lost its value.
Yep.
Because it's just like everything's either racist or everything is it's a rape type comment. Like if I tell a random girl hello, you know, in passing, it can be taken as sexual assault, and some might even take it as far as like, oh yeah, he raped me mentally. Like what? Like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like it's just gotten to the point where like that's why people don't take it serious anymore. Is just you keep watering down these words and people just get tired of it. They don't know the difference anymore.
Oh, absolutely, man. And that's actually something that like that's something that I that's something that just really bothers me to the absolute maximum, man. Like that um a lot of these, you know, social justice words, they don't understand. They have like, you know, no self-awareness. They don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand like it's like say, oh, the thing that I want to talk about as well. Like I want to talk about segregation because of what recently happened. I have the article, like I tweeted it the other day, and let me just pull it up real quick. But pretty much everybody's seen it for the most part, and I'm gonna make a video about it Saturday because I was just like, oh, there's some crazy stuff going on, and I'm just gonna save it for the weekend. But you
Yeah.
know, right now I want to just do this stream and everything. But yeah, let me share this real quick. So basically, you know, this Cal State LA offers segregated housing for black students. And the funny thing is, like, I thought this was insane. You know, of course, when I saw it and started reading about it, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, are you kidding me? And this is not the first time. This is not like the first time something like this has happened. You know, you have like, there was like study halls, there was like things within certain universities, and they had the same type of things where it's like, oh, this is for like black people only or people of color only, like POCs or whatever. And
Right.
I was really mad about this because it's like, say you have no self awareness, where it's, come on, I mean, how the fuck, I mean, how the
It's
fuck, like,
you know, I feel like if you were to present this back in the the actual segregation days, not a lot of people would be supporting this. Like people of color. I mean,
yeah, people of color would be fucking offended. Like, what the hell?
yeah, I
Like,
mean
I don't need this.
it's kind of like, oh yeah, we fought to get rid of that, but now we want to bring it back. It doesn't it doesn't make sense really.
That's like the craziest thing to me. Like that they do, like, they don't aware, they're not aware of this shit at all. Like they have no fucking idea that, I'm like, yo, you're bringing back some old school shit that, that we try to get rid of, that we thought we were past. We thought, like, say, it's just like, say, the thing, like, they keep trying so fucking hard. Like these social justice warriors and these Black Lives Matter type people, they're trying so hard to bring back segregation. Like they're trying to the absolute maximum. They're trying so hard to convince everybody that problems are just as bad as they were back then. Like, that's the biggest thing, where it's like, man, how angry are, like, I can't even imagine how angry, like, old people would be, like, today, at, like, say, a lot of these kids and stuff that are constantly complaining about shit. Like, I don't.
Well, it's not gonna. I just don't feel like it's gonna solve anything. I mean, you can have one or the other. You know what I mean? You can either have an open dialogue or you can have segregation. Like I don't feel like you can have both because when you're segregating yourself, it's kind of like you're shutting yourself off. You're kind of closing your opinion to people of the same race as you, and then you're not allowing other people to hear what you have to say. So it's kind of like you can't have both. I mean, if you're segregated, like, how are people going to hear your message? You know what I mean?
No, exactly, and that's the thing, though. But I mean, that's obviously what they want. I mean, that's obviously they want, like, say, just, we talk about echo chambers and stuff. They just want their ideas shared amongst themselves, and I mean, the main thing is what they're saying is that they want to be safe. They want a safe space, and I'm just
Right.
like, Jesus. I'm like, and you realize, though, that's what, the white people wanted back in the day. They wanted segregation to feel safe. And I'm just like, how do you not? How the fuck do you not, like? How do you not, like? I don't understand. Like, how do you not recognize that's like some fucked up shit? Like, how do you not get it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing that makes me so mad. And I understand. Like, sometimes when you talk to, like, you have a one on one with somebody, like, you have a one on one, because I have some black friends that I know that they agree with a lot of shit that's happening, because they haven't really thought of things. They haven't really exercised, like, critical thinking enough. They haven't really thought things through. And it's like, oh, I haven't really thought of that way. When you, like, say, when I talk about shit like this, where I'm like, why would you think this is a good thing? Where, say, when they just hear it real quick, they might think, oh, that's nice. Or, like, say, when they hear something like, oh, there's an epidemic of cops shooting black people or something, and they're just like, oh yeah, like, that's crazy, like, fuck police and this and that. Like, everything sounds pretty reasonable. But then when you start talking and breaking things down, they're like, oh, I never really thought of things that way. And I think that's, like, the only way to really, say, reach people. It's very hard, like, say, even in my
Yeah.
videos, it's kind of hard to, how do you fucking, like, a lot of them, I know a lot of people don't even watch my videos all the way through. They just see the title and they just comment and say some shit. Or I'm like, well, they're not going to learn anything. There's not going to be any difference of opinion. I mean, there's not going to be any type of, you know, there's not going to be any, like, it's not going to solve shit. So it's kind of like,
Yeah. It's just, people don't want to look at things objectively. It's just very subjectively, So it's, I don't know, man. Like, it's kind of hard to make progress when no one wants to listen to each other. But, it's kind of hard too because, I'll have conversations with people who are part of the Black Lives Matter. Like I know a few people that support the movement and they're cool people and I can have conversations with them, but then on their side they have friends that are like their initial, their preconceived notion is like all white people are racist, or all, white people this, and it's like I look white, so it's like I can't say anything because I'm already deemed, my opinions are already just considered bullshit.
No,
So
absolutely. You're the fucking devil, dude. Like, are you kidding me? You're the fucking absolute worst thing on earth. You need to be taught. You need to be taught. You need to be unlearned. You need to unlearn your racism, boy. Like,
yeah,
just
it's like, and then
like
it's
this
just kind
shit.
of weird too, man, because it's like I'm not white, like I'm Mexican, so
It
I mean,
doesn't matter, man. It doesn't fucking matter.
you look white, so that's
You
all
look
that
white,
matters.
and that's all. And that's what I actually. It was kind of funny because I like poking fun at like say like Chris Ray Gun or something because he's like Puerto Rican or something like that, but you know he just has very light
Yeah,
skin.
he looks white.
Yeah, he looks fucking white. So I like saying shit that like I've said a couple of things on Twitter that would that are technically that um technically fucking wrong. Like I shouldn't. He can like I even asked him like I even say like I even asked him to be a part of something that were like to kind of play like a white person, and it's kind of like I wanted to play on that. I wanted to play on the fact that he looks like he like most people would probably consider him white just off the bat, even though he's not. And I have friends like that too. Like one of my really good friends, Adrian, he's fucking like super pale skin, just nothing about him looks fucking Mexican or I think he has more Spanish blood in him anyways. I think that's kind of why. Where
Yeah.
he looks pretty fucking European to me. And but he's I don't know, you can consider him a dirty bean. Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Got Tyler in here.
Yo,
What up, man?
not much. I'm just relaxing you.
Fucking chilling, man. We're just talking about segregation. We just got in here.
Already?
Oh hell yeah, dude. That's like it's the thing to do, man. We gotta
Are you
talk
talking
about.
about the college campus stuff, like what happened the other day?
Yeah, I'm talking about that, and then I was kind of elaborating, but yeah, it definitely started with that because it's pretty interesting. And the funny thing was, even about that was, I read an article from the New York Times saying that it was a hoax. They were saying, oh, it's fake, it's not true, and they were saying, and the thing is, they were saying a spokesperson for the college. They were saying this is what they said to say that it's not true. They're like, oh, yeah, it's true that there's like 24 black students that have their own like fucking their own shit, but anybody's welcome. Like anyone's welcome. Like that was their big smoking gun to say that it's not fucking true. They're like anybody's welcome. Like yeah, because anybody is just gonna fucking waltz in there and feel completely comfortable and shit.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid to say that it doesn't happen when people, actually have that kind of center and then they start to just backpedal that. It's
Yeah,
just really stupid.
yeah, dude, it's fucking. I mean, it's so fucking crazy. Like
It's
I don't.
almost like the 1950s yet again. It's like people want to actually enforce segregation again. It's really sad.
That's what I like, and that's what we were talking about before you got here. I was just so weirded out. Like I was so fucking weirded out that I'm like, how do these people not like? How do they not fucking understand this shit? How do they not like? How do they not see like or like like say the time like this is exactly what we were trying to get away from, and
Exactly, like Martin Luther King would want not to have those safe spaces or those trigger warnings. Like Martin Luther King want the exact opposite of what they want. Yet they claim that they actually have inspiration from Martin Luther King.
that's the worst thing. That's what pisses me off the most. A lot of these people like advocate. They say like, oh, he's an inspiration. He's this. He's that. And I'm like, well, you guys are doing everything like he would fucking hate everything that you're doing. Like
He will be against Black Lives Matter.
he absolutely would. I mean, and that's the thing. Like somebody was even trying to say that because there was like Muslim extremists, like the black like nationalists around the civil rights movement that were very, that were kind of compared to Black Lives Matter.
Are you
And
talking about like the no, not the Panther Party, but it was like the Nation of Islam.
yeah, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, all right, sweet. We got another guest on here. Roaming millennial. I don't know if anyone has heard of her. She actually has a channel. It's a little small, starting to grow. And actually, I was turned on to her from my lady. She was telling me to check her out, and I was like, oh yeah, she's really fucking cool. And can you hear us?
Yeah, thank you. Like, thank you so much for sending me the link. I saw your tweet asking if other YouTubers wanted to join, and I was like, I totally do, but I'm super small. I don't know if you'd be interested. So I was like, wow, I wish I were less socially awkward. But yeah, thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem. And it's actually funny. I kind of I got really busy, and my scheduling, I don't, I suck with schedules, and I was actually planning on doing a stream where I wanted to like bring on a few YouTubers that were like smaller, and ones that like I was like, oh, they have like great potential and stuff, and you were turned on to me, and I was like, oh yeah, she's really cool. Like I want to, I was actually gonna reach out to you, but I never got around to it because everybody that I wanted on was like in different time zones, and it was just like fuck, like I have to find a middle ground, and I was too lazy, and I was just like whatever, I'm done, and then that's it. But that's cool. Yeah, there you are. So I'm glad you're here. And did you catch any of it while you were did you catch any of this while you were before you jumped on?
Yeah, so you guys are talking about the segregated housing thing, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually like, when I was at USC, like it was like 4 years ago, they actually already then had this entire level that was just dedicated to Black students. Like, so I mean,
Really?
it's actually not that new. And there was like Muslim
Wow.
housing, LGBT housing.
That's
Oh, yeah,
crazy.
Hey guys,
Holy fuck.
let me ask you something real quick about this stream. Like maybe Tyler in particular.
Sure.
People keep telling me to turn on the fucking chat, and I was like, what the fuck? Like I thought it was just going, and apparently it's not. And I try to look and see if I can turn it on. And I just want to before we go any further, see if you know anything about that, like how to disable or enable the fucking the chat box. Because
Like usually when it's streaming, like it usually happens automatically. So I don't know what's going on right now.
so it's just some fucked up bullshit, I guess. So
Yeah.
that sucks, man. And the thing is, I even said that though. I mean, I put in the description that it's probably gonna be a disaster because this is my first one.
Yeah,
And
like the first stream's like always a disaster, you know.
yeah, so I'm sorry, people. Honestly, like I was absolutely looking forward to the chat, like and seeing people troll. I mean, that's exactly what I usually do. Even like I go and chat, and then I just troll and say stupid shit because that's just me. That's just what I do. Like I don't know. I like to have more fun about like about all this stuff. Like I don't like to be a doomsayer. Like I like to poke fun at a lot of this stuff because at the end of the day, when you absorb all this shit, like say like the whole segregation thing, like it can just really just be like, what the fuck is happening? But
It's like the world is burning.
yeah, seriously. So I gotta like make some fucking jokes about it. I gotta say something, to like just lighten
It's
the
like
situation.
the only way to keep your sanity, just make fun of it and just laugh at it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, fuck, yeah, I'd probably just, like everybody talks about drinking bleach, and probably have myself a nice tall glass, Like I'm done, I'm out.
I guess it's not too surprising though. It's come to this. I mean, I think last semester when I was going to the university, they had something called the tunnel of oppression, and it
The
was
tunnel of oppression.
tunnel of oppression, and it was basically just a tunnel that they had built,
Are you
and it was
fucking
like a
kidding me?
gallery. Like you would walk through the gallery, and they would just tell you about all these oppressed groups and stuff. I mean, I didn't personally go to it because I was like, dude, fuck this. I mean, I don't need this extra credit. Like I'm passing the class, so luckily I didn't have to go.
Yeah,
But
like my brother, he took like this sociology class before, and they actually have all the feminist talking points in that sociology book. They talked about patriarchy, they talked about the wage gap, they
oh,
talked
that's
about all
100%
these,
true.
yeah, all intersectionality, all these stuff that they actually talk about in feminism on the internet. They actually talk about it in sociology.
Yeah, I mean, I had the sociology class last semester, and they were talking about the wage gap and all this, and
Mm.
they had open-ended questions at the end that we had to answer, and one of the questions literally asked for an opinion on why you might think like some of the wages are different, and it's an opinionated answer. So like there really is no wrong answer, but I got that answer wrong
Of course
because
you
I
did. Of
put
course you
like
did.
I put stuff like men tend to take less days off, and they just tend to like want to work harder, be more competitive and stuff. But when I put that, it was wrong. Like it was just completely wrong.
They're like, no, Troy.
From your male privilege. So I mean, obviously, right?
Oh yeah, and I don't know if y'all's universities or wherever you go to schools had this, but they have privilege walks in universities now sometimes.
Holy fuck.
So I transferred after my first year to a way more conservative college. So thankfully I avoided most of the craziness.
Well, I actually just was a bum and stayed out of university because I just I was just like, hey, fuck it, I'm just gonna do music, and you
probably did yourself a favor, really.
I mean, like, say earlier, if I would have just went, like, say when I was younger, like there wasn't this explosion of social justice warriors in academia and stuff. Like I wasn't hearing anybody, like, say any of my peers talking about this stuff, and now all the fucking time I'm talking about way too often, especially since school just started again. Like they're hearing like, oh my god, or I'm getting snaps, like constantly getting snaps from some of my friends showing me these courses and shit because they know like, this is like my livelihood now, and they're always showing me stuff that I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like somehow trying to even like in astronomy somehow try to talk about like gendered issues or identity politics. I'm like, what the fuck is happening, dude? Like it's.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's what's actually kind of crazy because I wanted to. I was actually considering, like, say, once I get things kind of settled down, I may consider taking some classes because there are certain things that I did want to sharpen, some certain skills that I want to sharpen and stuff. And I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I don't know if I can, like, I'm not very good at, like, say, there's only so much shit that I can take, and I'm not very good at, like, say, just. I like to debate and have like an open discussion about stuff, but if I'm like going to be shut down for my ideas or like say for putting my 2 cents in, like say for I imagine like say how Troy, you got the wage gap questions wrong, your opinion was wrong, like that kind of stuff would just irk me, and I'd be like, fuck this place, like fuck, I don't want to be here.
It's definitely man, like it's just bad. It's and I felt like the teacher after that just kind of like she would look at me sometimes, man, just giving me this like evil ass look.
Yeah, it's hard. If you don't buy into their stuff, it definitely affects your grades. I mean, they may say it doesn't, but I've absolutely had teachers sort of, I don't know, from then on not calling me on class or, not choose me for special assignments, definitely because I didn't agree with them.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird, man. After that, she would keep an eye on me. I mean, it was like she would keep an extra special eye on me because I remember one time we had an exam and like I had, the study guide on my desk, and I was just kind of reading, cramming last minute. And, she told everyone put everything away, so I just, nonchalantly, I just kind of threw my papers on the ground. And she, she, like, made it think, she made me, she made it, like, herself think that I was looking at the papers at my feet, to kind of cheat. So, she, like, called me out on it, like, loud as fuck in class. She was like, oh, you need to flip those papers upside down or whatever. So I was like, you know what, I'll do you one better. I'll put them in my backpack. So I like put them in my backpack in front of her, and I ended up making like a 96 on that test. So it just kind of felt good. It's like one of those classes, man, where you can just kind of text. Like you can just text in class, and when the exam comes up, you just pick all the answers that sound right because it's sociology.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Just why would they actually discuss all this kind of identity politics stuff into other classes outside of sociology?
It's just, I think it's just, I don't know, somewhere along the way, like, professors kind of just lost their minds to the point where, instead of staying on point, they're kind of mixing in their ideals just with whatever they're teaching. And it's become, like, kind of socially acceptable to just talk about, like, they almost feel like, say, a lot of these social justice warriors, they feel like they're, they're activists. And so they feel like it's their duty to, okay, I'm going to teach my course, but I'm also going to educate you on, I'm going to try to change the world. I'm going to try to make sure people understand that, XYZ is in peril and, and men are pigs or whatever. And just like, like weird shit like that where, I've seen it too often where I was just like, this isn't just peppered in a few universities. Like this is happening in way too many places. And I don't know, like I don't really know how to what exactly what to do about it. I mean, like say I think that's like something that I've always wanted to talk about with people and be like, well, what would be like your solution? Like what how do you combat this stuff? You know, like
Like earlier this year, like Sargon actually made a petition against social justice classes, and I
uh
actually signed that petition myself.
see, I thought that was a little like I was a little like on the fence with that because I understand how harmful that stuff is. I understand how harmful it can be, but at the same time, you know, it is like borderline censorship. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's not.
I don't,
Um,
I mean, I think they should be able to talk about it if they want. Like, universities, I don't think there should be certain classes off limits, but I do think it's gotten ridiculous where like literally every class will have a social justice aspect, even if it's like I'm sure they're slipping it into science at this point.
Of
yeah, I
course, it's
mean,
like social science.
it's kind of not turning into, an educative course anymore. I mean, whenever you're just preaching your opinions, like, where's the educational value in that?
And like I get all these people like you can tell they're really young kids, and it's like I want to get mad at them, these social justice warriors, but at the same time, like I know they're being indoctrinated. Like they're just spouting exactly probably what their professors are telling them. So
Like,
I think
like whenever they actually go to those classes, do they actually ask any kind of questions whatsoever about the stuff they are taught?
I've only taken, I guess, one social justice class. It was a gender studies class, and I think it was when I was a freshman, right? So I think at that point, it's one of your first college classes. I don't think you're going to be, in a position where you're like, oh yeah, I want to question the teacher and like, have my views, which are totally opposed to her, known to the entire class.
Wow, so nobody actually asked any questions.
I mean,
No, I mean like
you tend to find
the
out that a
question kind of
majority,
like, yeah, how are we?
like, it turns out like a majority of the class will listen to it and they agree with it. So it's kind of
Holy
hard, man.
fuck.
Like,
That is
you try to speak
it's
up and it's kind of like you're gonna get shut down,
it's
especially
almost
if
like a
you're a male
religion.
or white or something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
seriously.
I mean, very much so is. I mean, that this type of thinking, like everything we talk about, it's the reason why overall, like some people try to tell me, like say something as far as like Black Lives Matter goes. They try to say, well, there's some good things within it and this and that. And I was just like, well, the same fucking goes for Islam, Christianity, all this type of stuff. You know, like however you like say, I respect what you do. I respect good, religious people. You do what you do. But overall, the ideologies, I just don't like them. That is where I stand. And say Black Lives Matter is another, ideology that say is, people are like I said, like Colin Kaepernick, like this guy, how he's acting now. It's because, like I said, indoctrination. He wasn't fucking acting like this before, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh my god, I gotta do something. I'm gonna fucking sit down." Like and it's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, you're so chilling. Like, I just want to say, like, if I ever become like a fucking multimillionaire, I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one to say like, "Yo, I'm fucking black. I'm rich. I'm chilling. I have fucking whatever." Like, shut up. You can do the same thing. If I made it, you can fucking make it. Like, stop fucking whining, dude. Like, stop whining.
Like even the millionaires who are black, like they still whine and complain about like
Dude, what's up with
oppression.
that? What's up with that
Yeah.
guy? That guy. I don't know his
It
fucking
was like
name.
Jesse Williams.
Oh, Jesse Williams.
Who else? Like it was also who else? I forgot that guy's
Beyonce's
name.
really taken up with the whole Black Lives Matter thing. I mean, she did the whole Super Bowl performance, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I don't even know how, because like I don't think I've ever heard her like actually say anything. Just do some performances and shit.
She
So
may have said something. I'm not a huge Beyonce fan, so I'm not sure.
I don't understand Beyonce hype. I'm sorry if I lose subs, but I don't fucking get it. I thought she was okay when she was doing that whole Destiny's Child thing when I was younger. I thought there was some nice ensemble stuff going on there, but her fucking new music. It's just I don't understand it. But that's me. Like I like I like talent. That's just usually where that comes down to. But I digress on that shit. But but fucking shit. What was I gonna say about the
About the, like
fucking
the celebrities.
yeah, the celebrities. No, there was this YouTuber. I forgot his name, but there's the guy Jeff Holiday did a response to him because
Trey
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Trey
Trey
Trey.
something.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Like, cause what is the shit that he said? That one thing that seriously, like, I actually got triggered. Like, just hearing him say, like, a white homeless man will have more privilege than him. Well,
That
than
was
he'll
like
ever
the
have.
stupidest thing he ever said. Like that's beyond stupid. Like it's so dumb. Like how can you possibly say that a poor guy has more privilege than a rich guy?
Yeah, it's fucking. I wonder. I was just like,
So
I wonder, like, how could you possibly believe that? Like, what? How does that happen? Like, how do you get to that point? And like, how do you get to that point? It's one of those things that, like, I understand, like, say, like, it's like, say, when I talk about ideologies, when I talk about religion or something like that, like, I understand a lot of stuff of why certain things happen, within that, especially, like, say, something like the afterlife, and the fear of death. Like, I understand a lot of that stuff, but, like, say, when it comes to something like Black Lives Matter, like, when it comes to something like saying some shit like that, like, where does that come from? Like, where does like saying that a homeless person that fucking doesn't even know if he's gonna eat the next day, is gonna have more privilege than this guy? Like, where does that type of thinking comes from? Where does it come from? Like,
I
like
think it's probably the guy just being that dumb, or not just from his ideology, just
No,
I
being
mean,
that
I guess
stupid.
so. I guess so.
he wasn't doing too terrible, man. Like at first, like he was saying some things, and I'm like, okay, he's not going too overboard. And then he says something like that, and I'm just kind of like, damn, dude, like all your credibility just fucking gone. Like, like
Not
how could
only
you
that, but he
say
also
that?
did this video saying that like people who don't support Black Lives Matter, like the black people don't support Black Lives Matter, like are coons and Uncle Toms or something.
Yeah, he basically, I mean, he jumped on that train. He said, like,
Yeah,
oh, I don't even have words for black people that don't support Black Lives Matter. That's what he said.
yeah.
I don't even have words. Like how he sounds. I don't even have words. And I was just like, God, really, dude?
It
Like,
just seems like super. It's just super counterproductive, really.
yeah, it's
Like,
fucking.
how dare you don't support a movement that I support?
Yeah, that's the thing where I'm like, how do you not understand that? Like, so you can't just be like, all right, I understand. Like, say I have spoken to, and actually I was really delighted because I kept saying sometimes that I'm very disappointed that there's a lot of black people, like most of my dissenters or whatever, they just say like a bunch of bullshit, just a bunch of ad hominem, like it's and I would be like, fuck, I just want to hear some like good arguments from people that disagree with me that are like, that are black as well. Like I don't want to be like, say, I don't want to be that guy and say like I want them to prove me wrong, that like, oh, there's some really good, intelligent people that really support Black Lives Matter, and then they can be like, I disagree with you for XYZ. And I got and some of the stuff that I get, it's usually just from personal experience, and I kind of understand, like, I get that how you may feel a certain way because of personal experiences, but I also like myself, like I've had numerous run-ins with, with the police. I've nothing's ever happened to me. I'm sure I will say that I think I've been pulled over excessively. I think that sucks, but at the same time, it's something that I fucking deal with because it's not the end of the world to me. Like I still feel like there's so many things that people complain about, like say inconveniences that they kind of turn into, like, say it's woe is me, oppression. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand that's somewhat of a problem. Like say how people talk about, oh, there's still racism in this country. I'm like, absolutely. There's individuals in this country, and they're gonna think and feel a certain way, and instead of, you can't fucking change everybody. You just kind of have to, like,
Right,
look.
like for Black Lives Matter, like when it first came out, like I was thinking, yeah, like there's actually a legit movement, to actually combat police brutality. But as they progress over the years, like they gotten worse and worse every single time they're like in the headlines. Like we see people rioting, we see people just saying all these racist stuff. We had this one guy in Dallas that actually got influenced by Black Lives Matter, started shooting the cops. Just all these crazy stories from Black Lives Matter. And it's almost like they kind of make people not really care about police brutality that much.
Well,
Yeah.
like if you've seen their like the list of demands that was released, like if you look
Oh
at it,
God, not that.
Oh yeah.
they've like evolved from anti-police brutality to let's set up a communist state that like totally benefits black
We
people
want
over,
free money and reparations.
yes, and pay for literally everything until we die.
Yeah, that's fu- that's that shit. It makes me, and like I said, like I've always been one of those people. I was even when I was younger. I had I did have a very big problem with police brutality. But as I became a little bit more educated, though, like say I started to realize that there was still like a narrative being pushed that I was just like, fuck, we're focusing on the wrong stuff. Like I was liking when, like say, I joined. Okay, like a lot of people don't even know this, but I joined the organization Cop Block when I was at like it was like 2010 or 2011, and then it got fucking huge when this white guy, Kelly Thomas, who was mentally handicapped, he got killed. He got beat to death in my backyard, basically, downtown Fullerton, and it fucking blew up. That was when it was like, what the fuck, because I had a big problem with that too and everything, and so I was kind of like paying attention to a lot of stuff, and then it kind of just started like, started getting away from like say, hey, the brutality, and then it just turned into, oh, only black people are getting killed, and I was like, well, that's not even. That was never the issue with me. I was just like, there's some people that are joining the force to fuck up some people, and I was like, I want to weed out those people because I talked about this once before, that in 2008, when I was living in Arizona briefly, I was like an inch close away from joining Maricopa County Police Academy. I was gonna go fucking be a police officer because I was just like, oh, I want to be I want to be a decent cop. Like, and I've always liked the idea of like protecting and just being like that fucking type of guy, and like I was just, and ultimately I declined because of just the type of shit that was going on, and I didn't want to be, because I was going to be that guy that would be not in the thin blue line. I would be the guy that's like, hey, if you're going to do some fucked up shit, yeah, I'm going to turn into a fucking rat, and then that's going to create problems for me. And because I just like, I'm that guy. I'm a fucking paragon. I'm not a scumbag. And I realize that there's plenty of fucking good police officers, the great ones. They're fucking doing their job, just going home and and protecting, being fucking nice people. And then they have to make the hard decision to, like said, like, oh, some people try to say they're the people that let bad cops get away with shit. Like the good cops are bad because they let bad cops get away with the shit too. And I'm like, well, you have to think of it. When it's a job and stuff, and you might risk your job. There's like so many things that I was like, I want to discuss, and then it just went out the fucking window. The whole cop block thing went out the fucking window. They turned into a bunch of like, BLM people, basically, where it's just all like trying to focus on just mainly just black people. That's just trying to pick those stories because it's what everybody's paying attention to, and it pissed me off. And I was just like, man, like it's another thing where I was like, I'm one of those people that have to kind of like say where I'm defending Trump for not, like, oh, Trump's not a racist, and I also gotta say, yeah, not all cops are fucking bastards. And then all of a sudden, I'm a fucking scumbag. I'm like, what the hell,
Well, I mean, it's because a lot of people they tend not to look at everything on an individual basis. It's like you said, there's some cops out there that are shit, and then there's more that are not shit. But people just tend to group them all into one, and because you'll always see, like, I feel like the narrative, nothing ever gets solved between the police community and the Black Lives Matter community, is because it's almost like it's a competition. Like, oh, this black or white man was in the same situation and the outcome was different. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it was different cops, different judges, different lawyers, like, no, but no one takes that into consideration. It's just kind of like, people want to just, clump everything together and tie these, make these connections when they're not there.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess that's one of the most disappointing things, especially when I did one of my videos when I was talking about the celebrities support or whatever when it comes to like Black Lives Matter. And what happened was it was the game, and it was Snoop Dogg, with the LAPD sheriff, and they were basically like, stop the violence. They wanted to come together. I thought that was fucking awesome. That was great, especially given like all the shit that like Snoop and fucking the game would talk about. Like say they're very gang affiliated and fucking anti-police. And so they grew up. They're fucking older. They have children now, so obviously they're fucking trying to be like, yeah, let's stop the violence. We need to just work together and we need to talk. And then a lot of fucking people within the movement were just saying shit like, oh, what a bunch of fucking coons and Uncle Toms. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what is wrong with that? Like, they're literally trying to do what you guys want. Like, I thought you guys wanted the fucking cops to stop killing people and shit. And
Just every single time you just disagree with them, they just call you Uncle Tom or Coon and just leave it at that. Like they just, how can you possibly just fight racism against, black people while also being racist against your own people? It just does not make any sense to me.
not at all
There's
fucking.
actually someone who there was this guy a while back that, and I think he was right to do this. He was saying that a lot of the like the, I guess, violent altercations actually come about because, a lot of people, they don't know what their rights are with police. Like they don't know what they can and can't do. So a lot of times a situation will escalate where it doesn't need to. So like he released a video of kind of showing like, okay, so if you get stopped, like hands on the wheel, no sudden movement, stuff like that, which I think is smart because
Yeah.
it protects both parties. And people were just attacking him, saying he was excusing police brutality, which I don't think was true. He was just trying to, let people know and educate them about,
Yeah, a lot of these stories that we've seen in news, like people like all these people, like I forgot that guy's name, like fuck. But anyway, like these stories that we see on the news, like basically most of the time we see black people resisting arrest, and the reason why they're shot is because they resist arrest. So sometimes it's not necessarily like the guy being innocent, but most of the time it's like they just resist arrest. Excuse me.
Yep, and that's something that I did with I got a lot of shit for that whole 23 ways you can be killed in America if you're black or whatever. And what I did was just break down the cases at what happened, and for the majority of them, there was something that went wrong. Now, I wasn't completely advocating saying, oh, the cops were 100% in the right to do what they did. Like, say, for example, the guy running away from his car, what you should do, at least from my understanding, is that you're supposed to pursue on foot. That's my understanding. But, maybe it's just out of laziness. I don't just started plugging them, start shooting them. Now, my whole thing is just like, in this day and age, don't fucking risk it. Just comply. Just fucking do it. And some people might be like, oh, you're fucking this and that. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you say, dude. Like, I value my life. And, like, say, I actually, I got this car, right? And I was waiting for the plates to come in. And I got pulled over by the cops. It was pretty late at night. And my door was unlocked. And, whatever. Before I got a chance to roll down the window, he kind of came up and he fucking opened the door. He just opened it. And I was tripping out because I was like, what the fuck? And I was about to say something, like just kind of natural reaction because you don't fucking do that. But just, I stopped myself. And I'm like, you know what? Let me not fucking say something that might piss him off and get into a situation where I'm fucking face down on the concrete,
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's one of those things you have to do. You just fucking have to do it. Like,
Well, yeah. But,
regardless.
like basically, like a lot of them like tend to just talk back. Like there was like this clip of like Sandra Bland just talking back to the cop. Like she kept talking back and back and back and back until she went to jail. So it's like you cannot really just talk back to cops like they're your friends. Like they basically are an authority figure. So you cannot really just talk back just because you want to talk back.
Yeah, and like even if if you have an argument against them or they've done something wrong, the correct time to do that would be back at the station. Like just because you're arrested doesn't mean you've been charged with anything like that. Like you do have a recourse if you think they've done something wrong, but it's not to just like start yelling at them or being aggressive.
Yeah, it's not. It's the stupidest thing. And like say, I remember one of my good friends, and I don't see him very often. I probably should visit him, but he fucking hates the cops. He hates them. Like, it's just like, it's crazy. And I remember one time I was driving with him and his girlfriend, and there was one that she was like off duty. No, it was a guy, but he was off duty, and but he was still in his uniform. He was just in his regular car. So he was passing by, and then of course my friend just fucking flipped him off, just like like fuck you. That motherfucker, just in his regular car, starts pulling up all on side of us, fucking screaming out of his window. You all right, Tyler? What's going on?
I'm fine. I'm just moving my mic around.
Okay. But yo, dude, we got lucky because He pulled us over, like just screaming because he had no sirens or anything like that, no lights. He just fucking screamed, "Pull the fuck over!" And then he's just like kind of just just being all like angry and stuff like that. But I don't know if it's because I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's because he couldn't do anything, but nothing happened to us luckily. And there was fucking weed in the car. There was fucking everything. Like my friends fucking smoke weed like motherfuckers. We would have been so fucked. Like, and I was so like, oh my god, like that's the type of stuff. That's when shit happens. That's when things happen because somebody says something stupid or does something dumb, and then the cops get pissed off, and then they fucking like it gets escalated. Like where I saw that guy, and I think it was a white guy too that got he got put in a coma. I don't know if he died, but he got tased because the cop was like asking him to like just get out of the car or some shit, and he kept saying like he kept just basically being like, oh no, just basically saying that he doesn't have to. It got escalated to the point where he got tased and he got fucking like dropped on his head or something, and then he ended up in like a coma. And it was a really fucked up situation, but I understand, like say the video that you were talking about, where this guy's trying to explain like how you should act around police officers, this type of stuff you should do when you get pulled over or whatever. I totally understand the need for it because there's a lot of people that just like fuck authority. As much as you don't like authority, they'll fuck you up. Like you gotta chill out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that taser thing was definitely fucked up though, man.
Yeah, you remember that?
I think the regulation, because I was military police and I've been tased before, and the regulation's 5 seconds, man. Like you're only supposed to be tased 5 seconds, and that's it.
I imagine so because I actually this was kind of fucked up. I got tased in high school. I was actually in a football. I was in the locker room and I was changing, and one of my friends, he was a retard and he fucking brought a taser to school, and he thought it'd be funny to tase me while I was fucking bending over tying my fucking shoes, and and yeah, he fucking tased me, and like it felt like, I don't know, just a hot fucking pinch of, I don't even know. I was like, what the fuck, man? And he's like laughing and like he got expelled eventually, because you can't keep that a secret. Like people were like fucking. But yeah, this motherfucker tased me, and I was so like, who does that? I was so surprised that. I understand, like, you'd want to be cool and bring a taser to school. Like, I'd get somebody who would do something stupid like that, but to just fucking, hey, this would be funny, fucking tase some guy at school. I'm like, he's lucky that it fucking hurt, but, if he would have, like, held it down on me, like, I probably would have fucking tried to kill him afterwards, but, yeah, so I totally feel, and I haven't been shot by one of those, the gun ones, where those sticky, where it, like, sticks you and shit. I haven't been hit by one of those, though. So I don't know how that shit feels.
That's the one I got hit by.
That's the one you get hit by?
It's shitty. Oh, fuck. It's I got from my shoulder to my like waist region, and it sucks, man. You can't move, like you can't move anything. So
oh shit.
Yeah, anything like if you have it on your, like if it sticks your right shoulder and then like your left side of the waist, your whole body's just pretty much out of commission, man. You're just stuck there.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't want to get tased or anything. I even wondered about, like, say, what it feels like to get fucking shot. Like, I always think about that too.
I don't know why, but I think I'd rather be shot than stabbed, which I know doesn't make sense, but I don't know. I'm just like more afraid of being stabbed.
I don't know. It seems scarier to get stabbed, especially since like you see. It's such a slower thing to happen because you have the knife, you see the knife, and then you're gonna watch it plunge into you. Where a fucking gunshot is over in less than a second. It's just boom, you're shot. Like you don't even fucking.
I feel like the imagery plays, into the fear too.
Absolutely.
I mean, just like all the fucking blood gushing everywhere. And you have all these gashes.
It's just like a really slow and painful death with a knife.
Yeah,
so
especially
slow.
if you get like stabbed in the stomach or some shit. Yeah, that must be fucking awful. Like, I actually I've even thought about that. I was like, if I had to get shot, like if you had no choice, like I would probably take a shot in the arm. I feel like that's where I can brace it for it the most. Like where I feel like it wouldn't, and hopefully it's just like some type of I don't know, maybe even a 22, so it doesn't hurt. You know,
I've heard the shoulder is pretty good. Like if you get shot right in the shoulder, it can kind of like go between the bones, and so it like doesn't hit anything important. Because I think like there are arteries in your arms, so.
yeah, okay, so okay, shoulder shot. I like that. You know, I'll fucking keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
strangely enough, I've also thought about that.
That's weird. That's such a weird thing to think about. Like, people like, oh, where should I get shot at? You know, it's fucking stupid. But I mean, dude, one time I was fucking scared. It was another time I was in Arizona. Of course, it was in Arizona. Um, I was hanging out with this. I was hanging out with this girl that she was going to ASU, and it was pretty late. But I mean, fuck it. She's in college. I don't give a shit. And I guess she has very strict parents. You know, even though she was in college, it still, you know, some people just never really officially leave the nest. And so, what if her fucking mom? I was chilling at this park. We were just chilling, you know, because I don't fucking know where to go. I don't even think I was 21 yet. Anyways, yeah, I wasn't. And so I couldn't go to a bar or nothing. And her mom rolls up. She's like, "Oh shit, my mom's here." And I was just like, "What?" You know, I didn't really. I was just like, whatever. And then fucking, I see in the distance that her mom is holding a fucking gun, and not just like, you know, a regular fucking. It's just like a nice fucking 45 that can like do some serious damage to you. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? She's all looking all mad, and I was just thinking, oh my god, like, this chick just looks like she looked like she wanted to shoot me, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get fucking, like, I'm gonna die for this stupid fucking chick that, like, I just met her, and she means nothing to me. I was just trying to, you know, like, oh, hang out with some, you know, hey, maybe something's there. It's just me actually meeting her. And I was fucking frightened. Even after they took off, that initial like that fear, it didn't like leave. It was just because it was just like, oh man, I thought I was gonna get killed. Like I was kind of bracing myself to like, how the hell do you defend yourself against a gun? Like what should I fucking rush her, or should I, like, I was just basically that's something that I thought about too, where it's like, how do you what would you do if somebody had a gun and, you know, you thought you were gonna get shot or killed? Like, would you just
Cry.
Yeah, just cry.
Oh man.
I mean, I guess that's all you can do, right? I mean, because I don't know. I was like, maybe I would fucking try to rush them. I don't know. I would try, but I mean, yeah. I mean, that would have been fucking retarded.
Just hide somewhere.
Just hide. I mean, I guess. I mean, like I said, I never know how I'm gonna act until I'm in a certain situation. You know, like I even think something like, I don't really like heights, right? I don't really like. I kind of have an irrational fear of heights, and but I want to fucking skydive. I feel like for some reason that skydiving wouldn't, like, it doesn't when I think about it, it doesn't like make me like, oh, I'm gonna be scared. But obviously I don't know until I'm fucking there. So that's another thing. It's like, I wonder how I'm gonna take that. You know.
I'm actually afraid of doing that. Like, it just looks so scary. Like when you jump from the plane all the way down to the ground.
I don't know. That shit looks cool to me. But the thing is, like, if you put me on like a fucking 12-foot ladder, I want to die. Like, I want to die when I'm on a fucking the tip of, like, say, just like a 10 or 12-foot ladder. It's like the scariest fucking thing to me ever. I'm like, oh my god, it's so unstable. And I can fall just from this. I can fall from this height and get paralyzed and shit. Like, and
When
then
you skydive, are you the one who like, do you like pull the thing for your parachute, or is it like automatic?
I think you have to. I don't fucking know. Like, I thought you had to do it yourself. I didn't know there was an automatic one.
The first few jumps, I think it's like the first 20 jumps that you do, you have to do it with an instructor. So it's like you're attached to someone who's doing everything.
Who's gonna do it? Yeah.
That's not as bad, because like I'd be worried that like I'd jump and then I would freeze from fear and not pull my thing, and then
Oh shit! Yeah.
100% my fault. Like, yeah, she just totally jumped out of plane, had a parachute, did not use it.
Yeah, just jump out and pass out.
Yeah.
Right when you jump out.
Yeah, that'd be the fucking worst. Just,
People will die.
that's actually something I never even thought about. Like, say, just being so petrified or something, you just fucking pass out. I never thought about that. Like, that could happen too. Because like I said, like, I feel like I usually can visualize myself doing certain things. Like, and it's like, if I can visualize myself doing it, most likely I can. And I feel like I can skydive, but who knows? Like, yeah, I might pass out. And then fucking just, but luckily I would be with an instructor, and they would just be probably laughing at me like, you bitch. You know, but,
They have those. Maybe you should try one of those like indoor skydiving things that they have.
Nah, it's pussy shit, man. No.
You gotta test the waters first, man.
Nope, I'm fucking dude. It's just all or nothing. That's how I am with fucking everything. And if I come out, if I'm dead, okay, that's fine. You know, it's all me. And then you guys, you have a funeral for some black guy, but I don't want a coffin. I don't want to be fucking cremated. I want to be shot off in a rocket. Strap me to fucking a SpaceX rocket, and fucking just blast me into orbit. That's all I want. You know, let it be known.
Okay.
Some black guy had a fear of heights, so we're gonna shoot him into space.
How dope would that be? And actually, I don't remember who I talked about this with, but I said I would like to be completely body preserved. Like, I don't want anything to happen to me. Don't put any formaldehyde. Don't put anything in me. Like I'm dead, and then just shoot me into space. You know, like what if to a point like I reach some point where, you know, let's just say hypothetically there's some fucking aliens, right? And then they get me, and they have the technology to reanimate me, and I'm like, all of a sudden I'm on planet fucking something that you can't even pronounce, you know? And they're like, whoa, fucking, here's some weird shit. I'm just saying, 0.0000%, like 1% chance of that happening, but just that one fucking little percent, I would still take it.
You just want to be in a real Mass Effect situation.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is.
I fucking love sci-fi, man. Like science fiction is so cool to me. It's especially a lot of stuff that you even see, like even like watching like the 60s Star Trek, like some stuff like some concepts that they fucking came up with, or like things that we're kind of using. Even like say like the like fucking like cell phones or something, you know. I'm like, even the way that they looked, like when they're almost look like razors, you know. They're fucking. It's just like, it's cool to me, man. Like I don't know, fucking. I wish that social justice would fucking just die and just be done. People can be very rational, and I can just focus on, you know, reading more sci-fi, maybe creating one myself or something. Even though I don't think anybody would fucking. It'd probably just be like what do you call those things? A sex novel or some shit, like a romance novel with like fucking
Shades of Grey.
Fuck yeah, dude. I don't want to get into that shit right now.
It's too late for that.
So, like, if you write one of those sex novels as a man, are you like sexist in other people's eyes? Is that what would happen though? I feel like that would happen.
I feel like there must be some male authors. I mean, like, I feel like there can't just be 100% female authors.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
weird.
right.
So they'll read those books and not say anything. Like, oh, they're objectifying women. Like, they can read 50 Shades of Grey and get all wet about it, but as soon as you say something about the wage gap, it's complete Armageddon.
Yeah, that's something I never even thought about. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna. Man, what the fuck are we talking about this shit? No, the last thing, because it's actually getting, because I was only planning on doing a stream for an hour, but I just want to end off, because the last thing that we didn't even touch upon, I wanted to, something that I think is very interesting, conspiracy theories. Like, I didn't want to get too deep into it. Obviously, there's not that much time, but one thing that intrigues me in particular is the skeptic community, like say just people that are like that call themselves skeptics in general. There's like a lot of like things that I thought like conspiracy theories in general would really intrigue them, but a lot of people kind of seem to like just stay away from it. Like they don't even ever talk about anything, and I'm always just like, well, like why not? Like that's something that's always like, it's something that I actually want to, like anytime I stream with other YouTubers, I want to ask them about this type of stuff and be like, oh, how come you know, like I think like the subject of a lot of things that happen, you know, that you consider like a conspiracy theory, not like say just ones that are just like completely batshit insane. Even though I kind of do like talking about something like flat Earth, you know, flat Earth theory, like, you know, that's just like it's funny to me, and I do like talking about it sometimes. But I'm not even talking about something like that. I'm talking about maybe more stuff that where, you know, if enough time passes, enough stuff comes out, or it's like, you know, it may not even be considered like a conspiracy theory anymore. It may just be like, oh yeah, like I don't even think about this shit anymore. That shit
Like
happened.
9/11 being an inside job.
Like something like that, like where I think that's something that people could like discuss and not just be like, oh, you know, you need a tinfoil hat. And I don't know, that actually, I'm glad that you brought up 9/11, only because that's one in particular that say like, I feel like there's a lot of people that, you know, that consider themselves like skeptics, that they kind of like don't even, like they're not interested in it at all. And I don't know if it's because of just how it's still kind of so controversial to talk about, where if you have any type of questions about it, a lot of people might see you as like, oh, you're fucking nuts or whatever.
Right.
Um, like it's still like it intrigues me more, and it's something that like I like to know, like, you know, where people like, what do people think about certain things, like especially like say when it comes like 9/11, like I've seen a lot of different things. There's so many different things like involving that entire situation, where I'm just like, I don't know anybody else. I personally don't know anybody that has read the commission report. You know, like
Oh,
say,
I never read it.
oh, you actually read it though,
I
Roman.
had to for one of my classes. But like, I mean, what the thing is, like, you hear a lot of people dismiss all these crazy theories about, like, the CIA doing this and, inside job for the government. And like, I used to think all of that was complete crazy talk. Like, you're right, like conspiracy theories, like, okay, have fun with your lizard people, tinfoil hat sort of thing. But
Hell yeah.
like a while then I ended up taking this class about like kind of U.S. foreign policy, and like the stuff that happened in the 70s and like 60s, it's now pretty much all declassified. And like you learn about like the CIA was taking down dictatorships, completely like wrecking countries. And like if they were doing that stuff in the 70s, like is it really that crazy that they would still be doing that stuff? Like I don't know.
Thank you. See, I'm so glad that you said that, because that's one thing that I use, especially for, like I say, as a skeptic. I'm like, if you consider yourself a skeptic or something, that just using Occam's razor, it's like, it's not that far fetched, like when you think about history, a lot
Right.
of stuff that's happened, I'm like, it's not that far fetched to think that there could be some weird shit happening, like say something as far as 9/11 goes, because of what we know from the past. And something that I even like to tell people that and I guess it's a lot of people are starting to realize or some shit, I don't even know, like I did like I was doing like I used to write some articles and shit when I used to have this political YouTube channel, and it was just all about politics, and I would sometimes write articles and stuff. And I was trying to, like, fucking, I felt a little weird, but I was trying to like wake people up a little bit, like trying to get them out of the fucking, I was just trying to shake them up a little bit, like, you need to think some more. Anyways, I was writing about, say, the Mujahideen network, and then I was writing how it manifested into, like, oh, what we know as Al Qaeda, and how it started to, like, I started to go like, it's not even, I was like, this isn't even like, this is public knowledge, like you can just look this
Yeah.
shit up. And I was just like, it started to blow my fucking mind, like the stuff that was actually like available to just read on, like, say if you go to like the FBI's own accord or something. I'm like, they're not even, it's like, it's not, I'm like, I'm not fucking crazy. I'm like, they're saying this is their own documents. I'm like, it's just, and I was just like, this is so crazy to me, like that there were so many things that, like, I was just like, that we consider conspiracy theories nowadays, that I would like to discuss some of this stuff with people, because I want to know where they stand, because there's still a lot of people that, like, say, especially there's a lot of YouTubers that I like. They like never talk about like anything that has that anything remotely close to being like a conspiracy or something like that. And I'm like, is it because of the fear? Is it because of the labels? Like, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm like you said, that doesn't seem very irrational when you really just start talking about it, and you present a few things here and there, and
Right,
I
like
don't know.
even with like you mentioned the Mujahideen, like when it was the whole thing about the U.S. was discussing whether they're going to arm the Syrian rebels. I was talking to my friends how stupid that was. Like they're gonna use those weapons against us, and they looked at me like I was crazy. But it's like literally that's what happened with Al Qaeda. Like I mean, all these things, like it's not that crazy. You're like you said, if you look at history.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a book that I really loved. It was called Confessions of an Economic Hitman. And I can't remember, his name was Jack something. I can't fucking remember. I read it too long ago. But it was a great book, because it was just like, it explained was like, oh, what an economic hitman was, or what they're, or they call themselves jackals or whatever. And it just showed you like the steps on, like, say, a lot of like regimes, or a lot of quote unquote dictators that we toppled, where it was like, oh, it started off with bribes. It started off with hitmen or jackals, economic hitmen. They would do things to, like, oh, we want these resources, or whatever the reasoning was. There was always, the CIA had their, they would send their people out. And it got to a certain point where, say, if the jackals or the hitmen, if they failed, then it's like, okay, we're gonna have to invade or something. We're gonna have to figure some reason. We're gonna have to figure something out to take these people out. And it was mind blowing. Like, say, this guy saying, oh, I was in this business, and he's just basically just telling his whole story. And it was very relevant to the time, because around the time there was Egypt and Libya, all that stuff was happening over there, and seeing like what was being reported over here and what was actually happening over there was like completely fucking different. And like I started watching stuff like, say, like Libya, for example. I started watching a lot of stuff about that because I didn't understand what was happening over there in the Middle East. So I was like, why are they saying Muammar Gaddafi is like the worst person on fucking earth? Like, why are they saying all this stuff needs, and then I started to see that there was actually a large amount of the population of Libya like actually liked this dude. They're like, oh yeah, he's cool. He actually at like 40-year reign or whatever the fuck, like he brought us from poverty and now we're one of the richest countries in Africa or something. And I was just like, oh, this is it started to make me like pay attention more to what the hell was actually happening, and seeing that like, oh, you had these they were saying they're freedom fighters in fucking Libya again. It was like, oh, freedom fighters, but it was just like mercenaries. And then fucking, they were getting armed with U.S. weapons and shit. And then they fucking, took down the government. And then the Muslim Brotherhood took over, and you saw their flags and shit. And I was just like, this is so like, this seems like a fucking TV, like would be a movie to me. Like how crazy this shit is, like how it seems like a bunch of, conspiratorial stuff. I mean, and it is like a conspiracy. There's people that are in cahoots, but as far as like the theory goes, I was like, this shit's happening real time. Like, this is crazy to me. Like, this is exciting, and nobody's like really talking about it. Like, say in the Western world, and I'm like, what the like. And it just made me start to like be more. It made me have such more of an open mind with so many things that are happening, and it also made me question, like, say, how many things are like, say, how many things do we know about, like, say, in history are actually fucking like completely true, or is it just like, say, let's just fucking write like whatever we want because we know we're victorious, we're the ones in control.
Right, like there's like a saying that's like people say that the victors write history.
Exactly. And so it makes it kind of like I have an open mind, and like that's basically what I'm trying to like say. Like, I keep saying the fucking word skeptic or something because like what it actually means to me. It's like, being skeptical about like fucking everything. Like, say, even stuff like this, where even things like this, like I can't. When I hear something, or I hear something about like 9/11 or whatever, when I read the commission report and stuff, there was too much shit that didn't make sense to me, and then like, say, especially like, say, I don't want to get too far into this, but just for example, like how something as simple as like, say, like there was the third tower, like that fell, there was no explanation, and I was just like, what? That's interesting to me, like how does that happen? Was that just like a editing slip up? And I was just like, how come this stuff isn't really being, like, I thought that was really important. You think that's like a really important thing to talk about, and it just raised more questions. It didn't answer. It brought up more questions than it actually answered to me, and that was one of those things where I was just like, as like, say, somebody that likes to be like really kind of skeptical about things, where I thought that I'm like, hey, I don't know, like, I want to talk about this stuff some more. Like. It's something that can actually be talked about and not seeming like completely fucking crazy. It's not like, say, we're not talking about fucking aliens or something. Like, it's not, like, it's not that shit. We're not talking about something.
Even aliens are not that far-fetched.
It's not. I mean, it's not. It's really not. Given the whole grand scale of the universe or the possible multiverse, yeah, it's not. It's not crazy at all to think that there's other fucking life somewhere else. But I'm just saying, like, at least we have documented shit that we can hold in our hands or see, and then we can actually discuss this, where all we can do is just speculate completely about aliens because, unfortunately, we don't have any evidence. Like, there's nothing that we can just go to and be like, oh, there's the evidence. I fucking
right,
wish
like, it's like you basically have to speculate on it, but it's like more likely to have aliens on other planets.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like it's even like, say, even somebody like Neil deGrasse Tyson or something that just, even he, like an astrophysicist is like, oh yeah, well, yeah, And it would also make sense. A multiverse would make sense given the trends of things that we know about the universe. The likelihood of a multiverse, it actually is plausible. And I'm just like, yeah, like I like that shit, you know. But I'm just like,
I think even the current pope came out and said that aliens might be possible. Like not like this pope, not like the Sith looking pope.
oh, oh, the Nazi Pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking yeah, that guy was, man, that guy looks so fucking evil.
Was it
Like,
was it Pope Benedict or something?
yeah.
I think it was Benedict. It was Benedict.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
also think it's interesting how there is like a double standard with, I don't want to say conspiracy theories because that makes it sound crazy, but like I don't know, I feel like it's pretty accepted for people to talk about how, you know, Monsanto is trying to starve us all and you know, buy up every crop everywhere. But then like I guess yeah, if you talk about something like 9/11, that's definitely frowned upon. You can't say that.
Oh yeah, that is actually interesting, and I think like, I mean, I don't know if that has to do with like I don't know if that has to do with like like say advertisement or certain people that are like say it's are people like actually are they the ones is there like say like we have to make this shit sound crazy? Is there stuff, you know, like say, you know, I'm not trying to sound like all nuts or whatever, but I think of something like what would you call it? The elections, the past few elections and stuff like and when there would be like a makeshift candidate, when there'd be like a grassroots like say like somebody like Ron Paul who was up and coming, and regardless of how you felt of him, he was like killing it, you know, and then he was being like blacklisted, and it's like it's not a conspiracy, it's just fucking this is what's happening. I mean, well, it is conspiracy. It's just not a conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
It's
and the
not
same
like
thing applies to like what happened to Bernie Sanders in the email
exactly.
leak. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, regardless of how you feel about Bernie Sanders, he was being blacklisted as well. And it's something that I said before, like, he really started campaigning. I was like, Bernie Sanders is going to be the new Ron Paul. Like, and I don't mean by policies or by fucking ideology or say I just mean by what's going to happen to him. And it's something why I don't like where people tell me I should vote and stuff. And just me personally, I'm like, you know, I don't just how I feel and the trends that I see, like it's not like I don't like settling. I find it silly that we settle for less. Like we're like, oh well, this is all we have, and I'm like, well, no, do we have to proceed? Like, can't we fucking like is the world gonna explode if we don't pick another fucking president? You know, like fucking like say Obama hasn't destroyed the world. Can we just postpone this shit? Let him stay in the fucking office for a second, and be like, let's figure this shit out. You know, like let's.
Yeah, like there was a time like where we actually allowed people like Roosevelt to stay more than 2 terms.
Like I just want like to us to figure out like let's figure out the fucking let's talk about the lobbyists. Let's talk about the money in politics. Let's talk about the fucking like Goldman Sachs funding everything and being like, "Oh yeah, we're going to fucking win regardless of who wins because we got our hands in everything." So let's talk like can we talk about this type of stuff, and then, you know, and then the ostracizing of like third party, you know, like can we talk about this shit,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
the
like
thing about it is like we just vote Democrat or Republican, just never this third party. It's like it's almost like they have a monopoly on like how we vote on two things.
well, they do. I mean, they literally they
Yes.
do whatever they can. They do whatever they can to like fucking make you not like win because like say even for example, it's like, oh, if you want to be a part of this debate, you have to like what was it like I think with Ron Paul or something like that. You have to win like 6 states, or you have to have like backing of 6 states or something, some shit like that. And he had the numbers, he had everything, and then they fucking changed it to where it's like, oh, you need 8. You know, it's like, oh no, you need a couple more. You got to like just to make sure he's not a part of these. He's not actually in say when it actually comes down to the nitty gritty of people listening. You know, like or say out of like when he was actually invited to like say the first caucuses and the first debates and stuff, he would have like a total of like 2 to 3 minutes to speak, you know, out of like say an hour and something, where it's like, look what these people are doing, man. Like, can we talk about this shit? Like, can we talk about how unfair that stuff is, regardless on how you feel about this particular candidate? I don't care who it is. Like, there's something happening that we need to address,
Yeah.
and
I
and
think what happened to Bernie, I mean,
It was
it's
just
kind of
really
like
sad.
it sucked. Like it sucked for it sucked that it happened, but it was kind of a good thing as well because I think people had this this notion that like the government. It doesn't matter what anyone says. The government's supposed to kind of take care of you in some regards and this and that. I think it was just more of a denial thing, man. Like people just they were in denial that the government could be as shady as they are. So I think what happened to Bernie sucked, but it was also a good thing because it kind of confirmed everything that Bernie was saying the whole time.
Yeah.
So
That's true. I mean, I do agree with that, and I still was kind of angry with like say because I was like, oh, I want to give Bernie the benefit of the doubt and see, maybe he is a decent he maybe be a decent candidate in certain aspects, but he ended up playing politics as well, which one thing that I just hated, just pandering, fucking pandering. But yeah, I'm glad that it is kind of a good thing that he did get screwed over because yeah, more and more people are starting to realize this. Like say it really opened my eyes when I actually, because when I started paying attention, when I started watching documentaries and started reading a lot more, say in 2007, and then say 2008 runs, and I came across Ron Paul, and I came across like say his consistency was admirable, where I was just like, he's somebody that's not fucking playing politics. He's just saying like what he actually believes, and I appreciate the fuck out of that, And I think that's what a lot of people were, I said that a lot of people were getting excited about Donald Trump because of just not the exact same reason, but just that he's not fucking sugarcoating shit. He's just saying stuff like how like people were saying that, oh, fucking Donald Trump talking about, poverty in the black community and stuff. That's racist. I'm like, how the fuck? Like no, like that shit needs to be talked about, dude. Like you can't sugarcoat. You can't be fucking Gary Johnson and be like, don't say this, like don't say illegal immigrant, like don't, what the fuck? Are you kidding me, dude? Like
But something that, like, with Trump, that I think went to show how crooked the Republican Party was, that I don't think enough people were talking about, was like right up until the national convention, there were like never Trump Republicans who were trying to think of ways that they could get around giving him the official nomination. So like they're pretty much trying to like subvert the democratic process just because they don't like him. Like screw what all the party thinks. We personally don't like him, therefore let's try to like change it. I don't know. I like if I were Trump, I would have been totally pissed.
oh yeah.
yeah, I mean Trump's been getting pretty bashed pretty hard by the media and stuff. I mean it's
Yeah, I mean, like
another
even
example of like just another like someone getting bashed for no reason. I mean I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy. I'm not gonna go vote for him, but I do. You can like if you look at it from an objective stance, like you can definitely see like how unfair they're being towards him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like they have some sort of bias for Hillary, but like whenever Trump is mentioned, they just bash him to no end.
And I think that's also, I mean, I feel like a lot of people when they're playing politics, they're so wrong about shit. Like, I feel like, dude, hire me. I'll whip the shit out of these motherfuckers because there's some like, see, when I see like the tactics that they're like kind of playing against Trump, like it just keeps backfiring. Where I'm like, you can't fucking say all this shit. People are
Yeah,
getting
just
tired
keep
of this.
calling him a racist, keep calling him a sexist, always backfires on him.
Yeah, people are getting tired of that shit. They're getting tired of like that rhetoric, and they want the meat and potatoes. They're sick and tired of hearing everyone's racist because they keep fucking doing it. Like they keep doing it. Like it's just, and I'm like, that's fucking. And then I don't even know what Hillary was doing, and she was kind of connected. She was she was trying to like connect the alt right and like she was saying like alt right and like fucking.
Yeah,
like,
she said like they were run by Vladimir Putin or
yeah,
something.
like fucking connecting them to the Russians or something. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, who's writing this shit? Well, I was like, I'll do much better. Pay me $200,000 and I'll do a much fucking better job. I guarantee you.
She also quoted like Milo Yiannopoulos articles like feminism is cancer and stuff.
That was great. That was just something like you still like don't even give like why would you give somebody like that? Why would you give them any type of like credence? Like why would you acknowledge them at all? Like you just brought Milo to like a presidential level almost, like
Milo strives on that shit, man.
Like,
people don't understand that shit, man. Milo strives. He loves that shit. I mean,
people don't get Milo. Like they don't get how he's a troll.
Yeah, he's a troll. I mean, that's what he lives for. Like he wants the response, whether it's good or bad. Like
absolutely.
No, they don't understand that at all. Don't feed the trolls. It's a pretty basic concept.
Yeah, it is a basic concept. It's you would think that I don't know. I guess maybe the people that they still have working for them, they don't have like 20-something-year-old PR people, like, because they would tell you right off the bat, like, oh yeah, ignore this, like like ignore this and don't. Oh, Milo Yiannopoulos, oh, he's a fucking fly, like whatever, like that's how you
Yeah.
would treat him instead. Like it's so I don't understand. Like it makes me like say, and the whole Twitter beef, that whole shit too. Like say when they were going like Hillary and like Trump were going back and forth, I was like, what's happening here? Like what's like we're entering a new, like, I don't know, man, like we're entering something that's never been done before, and is
You
not like
you
it's
mean
not
presidential elections?
yeah
Like
it's not fucking
candidates getting into flame wars on Twitter.
yeah that should never happen. That's not like a thing that should ever happen, and it's like, oh my god, um like what do we do? What the
It's
fuck do we do?
like this whole entire election is just basically just PC culture versus like non-PC culture. This whole entire thing.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
You just gotta vote for whoever has the dankest memes. That's what it's going. That's what it's come to.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of like I said, I was like, I mean, yeah, it's true, and fucking at the end of the day, like I've said in my latest videos, like gun to my head, I would vote for Trump because of like one reason, to say the fucking he's how much he's pissing people off is delicious to me. Like it is so great. Like where if people were just rational, like I would be so indifferent about this shit, but he's made me like invest in him a little bit. Where I made a video about something that he said, and people got so outraged, and it's just like if few people were just smarter and be like, okay, whatever, yeah, Trump, he's not racist, he's whatever, and then I would be like, well, this is fucking boring, like, and I'd just be kind of over it. But just the fact that like, everybody's so triggered over him, I'm just like, I almost want to just out of fucking spite.
Yeah,
Like out of
any of the
spite.
accusations that he was like a racist or sexist or whatever, like there's just no proof whatsoever. Like I could never see any kind of proof to prove that.
I mean, yeah, he's said some shit that's like, oh, that's distasteful. But I love that, like, say, even when they try to put him under fire and stuff, he just kind of brushed it off, like, oh yeah, I said that, and then that's it. And they're all kind of like, oh fuck, I can't press him because he just brushed it off, and like say like nobody else does that, where they like try to backpedal or try to make excuses or something. He's just like, oh yeah, probably, yeah.
He literally does not care what they think about him.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm like, that's how you handle shit. I'm like, this like this fucking guy, like he gets it. I mean,
Because
he gets
he's not a politician, man. He has his own money. He's not scared. He's
Yeah,
not scared to lose any kind of power because he already has the power.
Yeah, like
without having to be a politician.
that's very true. And so the last thing I want to say, because yeah, we're getting on 2 hours, so I would say I'll end it at the 2 hour mark. But god damn, this flew by really quick. But I want to say, what do you guys think about Gary Johnson and the whole fucking, like, I want to call it Aleppo Gate?
I love how it wasn't even like, where is Aleppo? It's what is Aleppo? Like he doesn't even know it's a city. Like, right? Because otherwise it would
that
be
kind of that kind of did it did, you know.
I think you fell out.
People are overreacting. Like, but when I do examine the situation, I was like, yeah, if you do plan on running for president of the United States and stuff, maybe beforehand you wouldn't have known what the hell Aleppo was, but you would think that, like, say, Syria, the crisis, it's a big fucking deal. It's like the only thing we're talking about when we talk about foreign policy, and that was very embarrassing for him. Like that shit sucks. That it I think, yeah, maybe quite possibly some people are blowing it a little bit out of proportion, but at the same time, yeah, it's not that it's not a big deal. It kind of is, because like you said, it wasn't just where, it was what. And I did see a point. Somebody made a point, like, say, almost any time you hear somebody talk about Syria in the news, you hear the word Aleppo. It's a keyword. It's a buzzword now. You know,
Yeah.
like I remember the kid. Remember that fucking kid in Aleppo that was like, you know, like he was like fucking buried or whatever. Like he was all like, and there was that iconic picture of him just kind of looking like just having that dead blank face, you know. Like
Yeah,
so, it
I
was
think
kind
you're
of
right. It's not as big a deal as people are blowing it out to be. But the thing is, like, I don't support Gary Johnson because I think he's like a beta cuck. So it's great for me to make fun of him. But if I were a Johnson supporter, I don't think this alone would have changed my opinion.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just I thought they're being kind of unfair with him too. Like I'm not voting for him either. I'm just like not voting this presidential election. But I think it was kind of like they're kind of being unfair with that because you have someone like Hillary Clinton who's been in politics her whole life, and she says that she didn't know what C stood for on the filing. She didn't know that
Good
C
point.
stood for classified, but
Good
no one
fucking
ever
point.
talks about that. Like that
Good
seems
point.
like common knowledge if you've been a politician for like pretty much your whole fucking life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
the highest
It-
level
So
class.
how can you just be like so stupid not to know what C means?
That's what. But see, that's when you absolutely know. You fucking know for a fact that she's lying. Like that's not even something. That's not even up for debate. Decades of being surrounded in politics, she knows. She obviously knows. Being a fucking first lady, she fucking knows. And that's the thing. Like, so that is a good point that you brought up, especially because yeah, people probably blasted Johnson way more just because of let's silence these libertarians, and
Oh, I mean, yeah,
it
dude,
was
he was almost on like every news outlet, and then like, even on like the late night shows like Colbert and stuff. Like,
yeah.
he was everywhere.
Yeah, so that was pretty bad, but yeah, I do like, and the fucked up thing is, I didn't know Gary Johnson was such a fucking like you said that a beta cuckold pussy, like I didn't know because until people started because I was indifferent. People were telling me about him. There was this website that was just like a libertarian website that I discovered back in like 2010 or some shit, and I was like checking it out and seeing what a lot of people were saying, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I there's a lot of stuff that like I can see I agree with, and he was like the biggest push where they were always talking about Gary Johnson, and I was kind of like, I was just like, yeah, some of the shit he says seems kind of cool, but overall, he just didn't like really draw me in. And then like, yeah, now I see other people were paying attention to him, and I was just like, holy shit, like all the stuff that people are showing now, like, why do people like this guy? Like why do libertarians fucking like this guy? Like, I'm
He's
not.
kind of like Bernie though, man. Like, he has good intentions. Like, I feel like he has good intentions, but he doesn't have that like that that power to just push it. You know what I mean? Like, he likes to walk on the eggshells, and it's kind of like when you have someone like Trump and Hillary who are going like balls to the wall when they when they're campaigning, you can't just be there like walking on eggshells. Like, you have to match them. Like, you have to be balls to the walls because
Yeah,
they
not
are.
triggered by reporters who use the phrase illegal immigrant.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's kind of like, you have people like Trump and Hillary, like, who have all these allegations coming at them, like, all the time, and they just kind of, whoop, they shrug it off. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But, when you have that level of competition, like, you have to be on par with them, and he's not on par.
Yeah, not even a little bit. And but I'm gonna end on that because it's getting a little bit late and got some background noise going on here too. So I just want to fucking cut the cord. But I want to thank you guys for joining. Troy, Roaming, Millennial, Tyler, of course. You guys are awesome. Good conversations, good vibes. And I'm going to start doing this a hell of a lot more. And, to the people that are watching right now or are listening, like, yeah, sorry that I fucked up the chat. Like, I don't know why it's not doing it. I guess I just didn't enable it when I first started. And I know that's a big bummer, but I'm definitely going to start doing streams a lot more. Now that I got this first one out of the way, like, I can just, like, it should be smooth sailings from then on. There shouldn't be any more fuck ups. And if there is, you just talk shit, because I'll deserve it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys joining, and definitely, I mean, yeah, I'll probably do another one next week because yeah, this is cool. I enjoy it. I can talk fucking forever, obviously.
That was good, man.
All right, so you guys good? You guys want to say anything before you go off? Before I go off?
Sure. Like, my channel is Tyler Preston 20, and you can also talk to me on Twitter at Tyler Preston 20.
And yeah, thank you so much for having me. Like I'm new to YouTube, so it's so cool to be on one of your streams. And yeah, my channel is Roaming Millennial, and I am new on the Twitter at Roaming Mil MIL.
Yeah, definitely check her out. She's fucking cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate the the invite and whatnot. So
No problem, man. Like fucking, you were good. I didn't know how it was gonna go. I was excited to just wing it like this too, because I was just like, you know what, dude, I don't want to like get a feel for you before we like fucking. I just want to wing it and just see how it happens, you know, and like fucking.
yeah,
Yeah.
you thought I was gonna come on just start talking about the wage gap and how women are oppressed and shit.
That'd have been fucking awesome, actually. That would have been better. All right. I'm gonna sign off now. I gotta eat some. All right, guys.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, you guys have a good one.